Welcome to Man Kitchen Recipes. I am Kevin, and today, well, the other day, my ice maker in my fridge wasn't working, and man, I messed with it. Got it working, stopped working, got it working, stopped working. Anyway, my bottom freezer, it's the fridge with the bottom freezer, packed. So, unpacked everything and found, I found some chuck roast. I found some, a small rack of beef ribs that I need to get out of my freezer. The chuck roast has a little bit of frostbite on it. I think it'll be fine. I'm gonna smoke both of these in my slim barrel smoker. I haven't used my barrel smoker in a long time. I love that thing. So I'm gonna get these smoked up in that slim barrel smoker, but first we're gonna put some rub on here. I'm gonna be using my buddy Ray in Florida, where I've been and visited, Seminole Swamp Seasoning. Okay, now I'll tell you what's in it, but I got to get my eyeballs on. It's got cayenne pepper, salt, black pepper, dehydrated onion, and garlic. So, oh, a little bit of sugar too. So, anyway, Seminole Swamp Seasoning. I'm going to do both of these with this seasoning just because the seasoning sounds great. All right, so I got this chuck roast out of the package. There was a little of that darker brown meat there. Some of the edges, like right there, I still need to take a little bit off. And I think we're good to go. Just trimmed it up a little bit, took off, kind of the frostbite parts. And the rest of this thing actually looks pretty darn good. Both sides, look at that. See, nothing wrong with that. If you've got something in the freezer a little too long, I'm going to leave some of this fat on here because I want that when I'm braising it, I want that to kind of melt into the braising liquid. A little brownness there. Okay, so there was a little bit on the ribs. I trimmed a little fat off the bottom. They were a little too fat for me. So I'm going to put a little Worcestershire sauce on here. Worcestershire. And this is going to be for the binder and actually add a little bit of flavor. Doesn't need much on the bottom of this, but we'll get that on there. More flavor, more flavor. All right, this stuff's a little clumpy. The Seminole Swamp Seasoning. Yeah, so thank you, Ray. We're gonna see how this stuff is, Ray and Jan. And yeah, we'll see you out there. Right there, slim barrel smoker. Alright, so I've got some Royal Oak lump charcoal in there, and then if you see down in here, I've got some, my brother sent me some pecans that were laying on the ground at his house that aren't any good, so I just put them in here. We'll get a little pecan action going on, pecan shells. Hopefully that'll get some good smoke flavor. Looks like the current temp is 228, so we're gonna get that meat in. Chuck roast and the ribs in there. And I'll put, go ahead and put a meat probe in the chuck. Alright, it's been a little over 5 hours, low and slow. The chuck is at 165. I'm going to put it on this bed of onions, and I'm going to put some beef bouillon in there, cover it with foil, and let it keep going. The ribs are ready to pull off, so we're going to take those off and get all this, let this continue. All right, look at that. These ribs have been going for a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this chuck roast, I'm going to set it right here on the onions. I'm going to leave the temp probe in them and get these ribs off. These things are probing tender and just about 200, a little over 200 degrees. We'll take those off. All right. I've got a cup and a half of better than bouillon here. Let's see if it needs a cup and a half or just a cup. Yeah, we'll do the whole cup and a half. Okay. That'll all mix in. There's my little temp thing saying it's hot enough. All right, so all we do now is cover it. I'm going to turn it up to 275, and then let's just go for another hour or so. Let's keep an eye on the temp. I'm gonna make some stuff with that when it's done. Let's go cut up those ribs, see what they look like. Let's just cut into them and see how they look. Looks pretty good. Got a nice little smoke ring on there. Mostly charcoal, but it's got that pecans that I put in there. Look at that. Smells delicious. I guess we should take a taste of it. This is the beef rib. Beef ribs are amazing. So tender. That seasoning on it, it's pretty good. It's only been about an hour to get up to 201. Here I bumped it up to 275, so I'm gonna give it a check. Always be careful because that could let off some steam. Alright. Alright. So on that fat part, it's not quite 201. 198. It's not really shreddable yet. Yeah. So we're gonna keep going. I think I'm gonna pull this out. Stick it in this thicker part. Let's see what we can get on the reading. All right, so we're at 199 probing tender. So what I'm going to do now is take that off, take this probe out. I've got gloves with cotton underneath, and see if we can start shredding some of this. Some of that fat. And I'm just going to leave it in that juice. Any fat bits I'm going to pick out. Any tough, gristly stuff I'm going to pick out. And yeah, I'm going to get this all done. And I'll be right back. So I just looked. I thought I had pressed the start. It's kind of hard to do when you got gloves on and hit the button. I poured a 16-ounce jar of red chili sauce in there. And I mixed it all up. Here's all that stuff you don't want to eat. Here on the side, mix it all up. I'm going to cover this with foil, let it go for about 45 more minutes. I lowered the temp to 250, and then we'll be done. And then I'll make some other stuff with this Chile Colorado. All right, it's been another 45 minutes. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, hot. All right, so there you go. This is some Chile Colorado. And it's basically shredded beef in red chili sauce. And, you know, that's going to be some good eating. All right, so next time you see me, we'll be making something with it and giving it a taste. All right, let's make some tostadas. I got a can of spicy beans. We're going to microwave those to heat them up. Chop up some tomato, chop up some lettuce. We're going to use these tostada shells that are already crunchy. We're going to add a layer of beans, a layer of cheese, and get that spread out nice. And then we're going to put our Chile Colorado on top, get the lettuce, tomatoes, and there you go. Look at that Chile Colorado tostada. Yeah. I know you're going to be surprised, but whoa, it is windy here. But gotta eat, right? Look at here. I've got my red Chile Colorado here, and so I'm going to make some birria type tacos if I can keep control of everything without the wind taking everything. So for start, what you do is, this is going to be hot, but you want to put your tortillas, actually, when I said you want to keep that fat and grease in your meat, that's why, because when you take this and put it on your griddle, something's got to make it fry, right? So you need a little bit of oil. Okay. Get a few started here. And then what I'm going to do is use my quesadilla cheese. Use lots of it. This is some good melting cheese for sure. Alright, so we want to let that cook up a little bit. Because these tortillas, you know, they get soggy, so you got to make sure they're not too soggy when you flip them. And let the cheese melt a little bit. And you want to get your Chile Colorado beef on there. You can pack it on, it's alright. This one over here is way full. Alright, and then what I like to do too is, usually don't put anything in these when you get them, but I'm going to put a little pico in there. Minus, this is just onion, tomato, and cilantro. I don't have jalapeno in there, so a little bit inside. Alright, I think these are probably ready to, maybe. That's the first one that went down, so I think I can go ahead and fold that up. Look at that. Oh my. Tell me that doesn't look good. Oh my goodness. Alright, so I did get a little carried away and I used up all my Chile Colorado for birria tacos. My bowl that my onions and everything is, this is also why you want all the red chili and fat and everything. This is so when you eat your tacos, you can dip them in this sauce. Even though there's not a whole lot left, but there's enough. Alright. Want me to taste one? Because I'm going to be eating them. There you go. I told you I got carried away. All birria tacos out of the rest of that Chile Colorado. Look at that. Oh my. Alright, so here's the birria taco. Here's the sauce. What you do is you dip it in the sauce when you eat it. Everybody gets their own little bowl if you have enough. That is, oh my goodness, so good. I don't make these often enough. I think I should start making it more often. All right, so there you go. Birria tacos out of that Chile Colorado. I made the tostadas. Those were amazing. I wanted to make more stuff, but once I started making these tacos, I'm like, I'm just going to use it all for this. It was a small little chuck roast anyway. So anyway, that's my cleaning out the freezer meals. I had the ribs. I got the Chile Colorado. And at the ribs, actually, I had a leftover rib. I cut the meat off and made a barbecue rib, chopped rib sandwich. Anyway, man, clean out your freezer if you have to. If something looks borderline, I say thaw it out, cook it. I mean, if it's way too bad, obviously you can't. But that chuck just had enough. I could slice about just a 1/16 of an inch off the top, get some of that gray freezer burn off of it. Other than that, it turned out fantastic. Thanks for watching.